Howdy ho everybody out there in YouTube land, Nintenjoel here once again, and it is pickups time. Once again, pickups number 41, got all kinds of stuff. If you didn't see the last pickup video, you might want to check that out. I increased my shelfage by double, got 2 shelves now, trying to fill it up as quickly as possible, but I already have done one pickup video. There was a trade unboxing that has been put on the shelf because I've already shown that. And my last video where I took the trip to Bend and picked up a few things there, all that's on there as well. So there's a good start on it, but quite a bit more to fill up. There's a lot to fill up, so this is going to take quite a few episodes. But there's quite a few pickups in this video, actually, and some of this is kind of old. There's actually some stuff from my birthday, which was like well over a month ago, almost going on 2 months now. So yeah, there's some pretty old stuff. Join me, check out everything I got. Without further ado, let's check out the pickups. Okay, and on to the pickups. So first of all, randomly going out and taking the trash out in my apartment complex, there was a bag of toys sitting next to the dumpster. I rooted through them real quick and scored a Mario Kart figure from Burger King, I think. But it's Toad, it's Mario Kart, and it was free, so that's freaking awesome. I'm not one of those guys that really has the balls to go dumpster diving, but I know there are some people that are really good at it, and I really respect that. I don't know, if I get caught dumpster diving, I'm not really sure what the hell I would say as an adult to talk myself out of that situation. I'm dumpster diving for video games and toys, I don't know. They'll probably think I'm some kind of weirdo, even though if I didn't have an excuse, they'd probably still think I was a weirdo, so whatever. But yeah, dumpster diving can be rewarding. I've actually found a couple games before too, so yeah, you never know. Okay, so random eBay purchase. This was a long time ago, actually. This is around Christmas time. And I had just kind of forgotten to show it in my last pickup video because I was currently playing it and it was sitting in my machine. So yeah, eBay purchase. This is Ys 5, which is another one of the kind of black sheep of the Ys family of games. 3 is because it's a side scroller, and this one is because it doesn't have that traditional thing where you don't really swing a weapon. You just kind of run into your enemies in a like just the off angle enough to where they don't hit you, but you hit them. This one you do actually have sword swinging action like Legend of Zelda, or in my opinion, Soul Blazer. This game for some reason really reminds me of Soul Blazer, and not in a bad way. You can jump and stuff, and you can equip weapons and all that jazz, talk to people. It's pretty fun. There are some flaws with it. I don't hear a lot of people talk about this game at all, so I'm going to be doing a review. I think one of the reasons that this game doesn't get talked about much is because the team that finished the translation for this game seems to have just finished it not that long ago. Like maybe a year or 2 ago from what I've read. And so I can't really find much footage on it online. There's a little bit, but I haven't really seen a review for it or anything. So I'm going to be reviewing this. In fact, that review is almost done. I just wanted to kind of beat the game, or at least get really close, and I'm pretty far in the game. So keep an eye out for a review for Ys 5 for Super Famicom, a game that I can highly recommend for only $20, and there are translations available, as I said. Okay, so as I also said, these are some pretty damn old pickups, and some of these go back to my birthday, which is in the beginning part of January. So, first of all, I've got Shovel Knight for 3DS, and this actually was not a birthday gift. I got a gift card to GameStop from my nephew. I believe it was from my nephew, and I got Shovel Knight with it. Shovel Knight is freaking awesome. I need to play it more, but this is like the perfect blend of like DuckTales NES with like Metroidvania games and like a little bit of Mega Man-ish, and there's just amazing music, incredible gameplay, really super tight controls. This is a game that I cannot recommend enough, and it's on a lot of systems, and it's not very expensive. Go get Shovel Knight. You will not regret it, unless for some reason you don't like that type of game, which then you're a weirdo, and you should probably stop watching this channel, because damn it, all those games that I listed that this game is kind of like, they all kick ass. So yeah, go get a copy. Alright, enough ranting and raving. Alright, so my buddy Kevin actually got me a birthday present, and it came in the mail broken, and he was so pissed about it. Like, I actually debated not telling him about it, but I knew eventually he was going to come over and see it, and he's going to be probably even more pissed. But yeah, the dude mailed the game that he sent me. He sent it directly to me, and actually it was really cool. My friend Kevin is the one that got it for me. He got a hold of my girlfriend and got my address and everything, so it was totally a surprise. And anyways, the game came broken because the dude literally mailed it in a bubble mailer with no extra bubble wrap, no nothing, and it obviously hit a corner really hard and busted. Anyways, he talked to the guy, sent back that copy. Guy happened to have another copy in really good condition, and my birthday present from Kevin, Gremlins 2. Now this is a game that is a very, very good example of why are you going for expensive games? I don't hear many people talk about this. One person I do hear talk about this is Billy from the Game Chasers. He really likes Gremlins 2. And then I looked up gameplay footage and I saw somebody's review and I was like, man, I really need this game. Once I actually got it in hand, I was blown away. It is a really, really fun game, and I can really honestly say most people that like NES adventure-type games with the overhead kind of feel are going to probably like it. It gets pretty hard after just a few levels in, but totally, totally worth it. Gremlins 2 kicks ass. Thank you very much, Kevin, for that birthday present. That was actually very awesome and cool of you. Thank you. Sorry that you had to go through the trouble of having to send the other one back. That sucks. Okay, so I better fire through these next ones pretty quick because, man, I am rambling. Okay, so my girlfriend took me around on my birthday and just like bought me some games that I needed, and I couldn't find any retro games I needed, but oddly enough I found three, count them three, PlayStation 3 games that I needed, which is kind of unusual, but they're all really awesome looking and really freaking cool. So thank you, Jessica, for the birthday presents. I am actually really stoked about Sacred 3, first of all. This is a dungeon crawler and looks amazing. I have not actually played this yet, but this one looks freaking so cool. And I've heard Sacred 2 is pretty awesome as well, and it's nice and complete and minty, so hell yeah. Can't wait to get into that game. I like Baldur's Gate and Champions of Norath and those kind of games. Okay, and then something I haven't actually even opened yet because I've just been playing so many games, but DuckTales Remastered. Hell yes. Fuck yes. I was just talking about DuckTales, about the Shovel Knight thing. This is basically just, well, not even just a remake of DuckTales for NES. It's also got some new elements to it, and yeah, I don't think it's a just direct remake, but it looks pretty damn badass. And then Splatterhouse. Now, what the hell is cool about this? Not only is it its own original game, but it's got the first 3 Splatterhouses able to be played on this game, and that is worth it for this. This game only goes for like 10 or 15 bucks complete, and I highly urge you, if you have a PlayStation 3, to grab this because, I mean, shit, if you wanted to grab all the Splatterhouses individually, you'd be paying a lot of freaking money. So, yeah, pretty awesome. So, thank you very much, Jessica, for those gifts. I'm actually very stoked on those. And then, going with the PS3 theme, I actually did a trade with somebody named Ken, and he's a local dude, and I traded him Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters on Super Nintendo because I am not a fighter guy. That game is nothing I really care much about, and he really wanted it, so hell yeah. And also, just the fact that there's an HD remake of Metal Gear Solid 2 is reason enough for me to want to play that. Love that game. Okay, so for once, the local game store, GameStar, only had one game that I needed, but it was one that I really, really needed for a long time. And for some reason, I hadn't seen it on their shelf for a while. Like, I had seen it for a while, and then it disappeared, so I assumed somebody bought it, and then randomly it reappeared, and they said it was the same copy. And it's a Capcom game. It's not only a Capcom game, but it's a Capcom RPG. And, ooh, hiccups. Again. And that's Destiny of an Emperor, which is an awesome RPG where you control generals, and your hit points are actually determined by how many soldiers you have. So if you lose 10 hit points, you are actually having 10 soldiers go valiantly into death, which is kind of morbid for an NES game, but whatever. Okay, then I did a trade with another local dude, Haven. And actually, this first game, I'm not positive came from him. I think this was a kickdown from either him or it was from another guy named Richard. But this is Plasma Sword for Dreamcast. It was just a disc only. I honestly can't remember if that was Haven or Richard that gave me that, but either way, thank you for that. And then there was a disc-only copy of Willy Beamish for Sega CD, a point-and-click adventure. And then the main reason I wanted to get something from Haven was just to get this Sonic CD complete in box, which is really, really nice on Sega CD. And if I remember correctly, we didn't just meet up for this. I think I sold him some games too. In fact, I think I sold him my dot hacks or something like that because I needed cash and I never played my dot hacks. So, wow, I'm running out of room quickly, so I'm going to reorganize these a little bit. Maybe we'll just cut right here and it'll magically be rearranged. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that. We were running out of room there very quickly. Okay, so now I did a... Man, I can't remember if I bought these games or if I traded them or if it was part buy, part trade. I really honestly couldn't remember. I do remember the dude's name was Damon. He was local, and yeah, I got a stack of Atari games from him. But first of all, I got Raiders of the Lost Ark. Awesome. Defender. I did have a copy of Defender. In fact, I think the extra one went out to that winner of the prize contest, but it was missing the end label, so, or maybe it was like a little torn or something. So I got that one really for a label replacement. Then I got Keystone Capers. This looks like a really fun game, actually. I'm pretty sure I watched a review on this one, actually, and it looked really fun. And then good old Danky Kang. Decent condition. This is a game that I've actually been after for a little while. And then we've got Mario Brothers. The only thing that sucks is I didn't know it didn't have an end label at the time, but whatever. So yeah, pretty cool, Mario Brothers. Something I've actually also been after for a while. Really cool game. Super stoked about this. Adventure. I have heard so much good stuff about this game, and have never had my own copy, so I actually cannot wait to get into that. Notoriously one of the better games for Atari. An overhead shooter of all things, River Raid. Very stoked on this. Very, very stoked on this. But not quite as stoked as I am on this last one. Hero for Atari. Hell yeah, this is amazing. I am really stoked about this. This is a really cool, really fun game. Seems very ahead of its time. Kind of reminds me of Pitfall 2 in that respect, that it was just something that you didn't see back in the day like that, that had that much detail in it, and completeness to a game, if that makes any sense at all. So, alright, so thank you very much, Damon. And then I did a trade or two. Oh, okay, first of all, I did a trade with Charles and his girlfriend, Deborah, and it was just two little ones. I think I gave them Doom on Game Boy Advance, and they gave me two games. First one's just a cheapo. For some reason, I had lost my copy of Tetris on Game Boy when I was a kid, and I never, ever replaced it. I'm not really sure why, but that's actually no joke. Tetris on Game Boy. This is my favorite port of Tetris. It's so much better than the flashy, ultra-colorful version on NES, in my opinion. That is so distracting. Like, getting a Tetris on NES is actually distracting and just almost gives me a headache. On the portable in black and white, there's just something about it. I like the feel of it. Maybe it's because I grew up with that, not really sure. But the main reason I did a trade with them was to get Riviera the Promised Land for Game Boy Advance, which is an RPG, and it sounded like Charles' girlfriend actually played this quite a bit. She said it was pretty fun. I played it just a little bit, and it was super, super story-driven, so I felt like I had to give it a lot more time. But it's something that I've been looking for, and something that I'm willing to put in a little bit of time to play soon. Okay, and then I did... Thank you very much, Charles and Deborah. That kicks ass. And then I did a trade with my buddy Trent, who I do trades with constantly. But this one, I can't remember what the hell I traded him. But the first thing was just a kickdown. And this is actually a really cool kickdown. This is a Japanese Sega Mega Drive cart. Japanese... I'm having a really hard time saying that. Japanese Genesis. But this is, yeah, a Mega Drive cart for Japan. And it's neat. It's got this little slot on the side. I have no idea why. But it's shaped a little bit different from a Genesis cart. You can't just play this in a normal Genesis. It won't fit, but it does fit in my Retron and Play, which is really freaking cool. But yeah, he was modding a Genesis and wanted a Japanese cart to test it with, and turns out you could play that one. As long as you mod the actual Genesis, you could play it on it, just about anything, for as long as it fits the cart inside. So anyways, pretty cool. The game reminds me of Pole Position, and in case you want to know what it's called Fastest One. Ha! Nice name that probably wasn't translated very well. And then actually, I want to say this was a kickdown too. Ninja Gaiden on Xbox. I did have a copy of this, but it was really beat up and it had no manual. This one is brand spanking new looking, basically, which is cool. And then the main thing I was after from him was Summoner, actually. This isn't a very expensive game, but it's a decent early PlayStation 2 RPG. This is complete in box, and same thing, looks almost brand new. I had a disc-only copy of this, so it was nice to replace that. Okay, and the last thing I have for you guys, one of the random dudes, his name's Jason, on Southern Oregon Retro Gamers, our local game group. He had some stuff to get rid of. I don't remember exactly how I got a hold of him, or how I got to talking to him, but somehow I found out that he had some NES games, and we had already kind of made a deal on something else. And the first thing we'd made a deal on was this complete in box copy. Actually, not complete in box copy, it's missing a manual if I remember correctly. This is Mother 2 for Super Famicom, basically Earthbound, but yeah, this is really cool just to have, mostly as a display piece, because I actually have Earthbound, but it's really neat to see this. I like the alternative art. Or maybe our art is alternative. That was really hard to say. Okay, but when I went to his house and actually checked out his stuff, he did have a grip of Nintendo games and some Super Nintendo games, and like he had Harvest Moon on N64 and some other random stuff that he was willing to get rid of. What's crazy is he actually had a copy of the Jetsons on NES, and we both did not know how much that game was worth. I was estimating like $50, $60, and we decided to look it up right then and there and found out it was worth like $160. Holy crap, I tried to get that game off of him, but was unsuccessful, unfortunately. But I did get 3 Nintendo games from him, 2 of which I've been after for a long time. The third one is just Indiana Jones, but it's kind of cool to get another Tengen cart. I just don't really run into these too often anymore, at least for decent prices, so awesome to get Indiana Jones. And then, okay, cheapo that I've been after, God, since I was a kid pretty much, but I never find it. I don't know why, or if I have found it before, it's been a ridiculous price, but Burger Time. Holy crap, I went to my buddy Josh's house right after I scored this from him, and yeah, me and Josh played this for at least an hour. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, Burger Time, you cannot beat that. There's another example of a cheap game that just kicks ass. If you don't have Burger Time in your collection, and you're worried about trying to get like Bubble Bobble 2, like seriously, don't even play games. Okay, so last thing I got for you guys, not really a hard hitter. I don't have a giant hard hitter this time, but still a game I've been after for quite some time, and he gave me a really good deal on it. G.I. Joe, the American Hero on NES, hell yes. This game kicks ass. I am actually really surprised how good this game is. It's made by Taxan. It's a side-scrolling game. It's pretty cool because you can choose your characters and like switch between them in between gameplay. They all have different good points about them, and it's just a really, really fun game. It's not easy. It's not easy at all, and it's really annoying that when you like shoot an enemy, sometimes bullets for you to pick up will fly off of them, and they will jump like halfway across the screen, and you have to go running back and chase them down, and then by that time the enemy reappears, and it's just a pain in the ass. But it is actually a really well done game. There's only a couple gripes with it, but overall super fun, and a game that's rising in price, so get it while you can. Alright, so that's it for the pickups. Thank you very much, Jason, by the way. And yeah, thank you everybody that has contributed to this madness this time. Lots of good games, no crazy heavy hitters, but Destiny of an Emperor, Gremlins 2, and G.I. Joe I am super stoked about, and I cannot recommend Shovel Knight enough to you people. It is so good. And keep an eye out for a review for Ys 5. Alright, let's go see what this stuff looks like on the shelf. Alright guys, that's it. There's all the pickups. I hope you enjoyed that. And here they all are integrated onto the shelf. Doesn't that look pretty? So amazing. I love seeing this shelf grow, and now that it's double size, I can't wait to see how long it takes me to fill this up. So thank you once again for joining me on my maddening quest of getting crazy amounts of games and trading games constantly. So yeah, I appreciate that. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this episode. Any favorite games that I picked up, that'd be amazing. And please like the video if you did like it, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of an old guy rambling about old games. That would be awesome. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you everybody that did trades and sales with me. That's amazing. You guys help me out all the time. I really appreciate it. And thank you very much, viewers. It is always appreciated. Keep rocking the retro games.